Hello guys and welcome to today's video, and in this video we're going to be talking about what is now Cyclone Charlotte. It is no longer a tropical cyclone, it is a cyclone. What that means is it's a category 1 or higher on the hurricane scale. So, it has a pinhole eye to it too, and I'm going to show you guys here real quick. As you guys can see here, it quickly developed a pinhole eye that's trying to clear out right now. So this thing is really booming at the moment. And the reason this is booming right now is because it has great outflow and it also has a jet interaction. Yes, there is some shear around, but because of these two things, it's fighting off that shear and intensifying at a pretty great pace. As you could see here, there's a pinhole right there. And you can see the rotation here. It's pretty strong here. So I would not be surprised if this is around 80 to even 90 knots right now, because like I said, that's a pinhole right there. I mean, clear as day, you can see it. And like I said, this is going boom right now. All right, so now here are the particulars for the system. It is located at 16.0 south, 110.6 east, and maximum sustained winds are 60 knots, which, obviously that's probably not the case right now, as you guys seen. This is from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, though, so they say this is about 70 miles per hour, which is, it's definitely not that. It's definitely a cyclone at this current point in time. BOM has this around 75 miles per hour, so that's a little more acceptable than what the Joint Typhoon Warning Center has at the moment. And I firmly believe at this current point in time that this is going to outperform the models at this point in time, because this is already making a run for a major right now because of that pinhole, which is amazing. All right, so here is the GEFS tracks and minimal MSLP for Charlotte, and as you can see, 990s, 980s, some 970s in there, and as you can see, it pretty much peaks out right now, which once again, that's not going to be the case, because it still has about 12 to 18 hours worth of pretty good conditions in front of it still. So this definitely has a chance to outperform the GEFS here. And as you can see, 1000 to 990s pretty much throughout the rest of the entire life of this thing. So, that's what the GEFS has to show for us. How about the GEPS? As you can see, not as enthusiastic as the GEFS. It has it peaking at 996 millibars, which I'm sure is not, it's far from that right now, I'm sure. But as you can see, it only keeps it around 1,000 millibars here. So, just going to have to take that with a grain of salt as it may. All right, so not only does it have the good jet interaction, the pinhole, and the great outflow, it also has super warm sea surface temperatures here too, about 30 to 31 degrees Celsius, which is getting up there to near around 90 degrees Fahrenheit of these bathtub warm waters here in that area that it's in. So it has 4 very great things going for it right now to potentially make this go boom, so to speak. The great outflow, the generator interaction, the pinhole eye, and the very hot sea surface temperatures in this region. So we're just going to have to see how it all plans out from here. All right, so here is the GFS, and this was initialized at 12Z. So this run is straight off the presses here. No wasting of time here. And as you can see, we are starting at a millibar pressure of 981 millibars. So we're going to go out 24 hours. And this is where it starts to weaken a little bit. As we see, it's 15 knots of shear, but the relative humidity is not very good. I mean, it's decent enough for strengthening, but it's not ideal. 48 hours, we're at 993. Like I said, these models are probably underperforming now at this point. We got 14 knots of shear and 57% relative humidity. So, like I said, the shear is still so. It's all right, but the relative humidity is what's going to cause this to really break down, and the dry air that's around it. 14 knots of shear, 59% relative humidity, and as you see from here, it just continues to. It doesn't like it plateaus really in weakening, but then the GFS shows it heading towards Australia as some type of weather system. 23 knots of shear, 69% relative humidity, and as you can see, we're gonna. Oh, it doesn't make landfall in Australia. It just stops here and then just circles back. So we're not going to look at the relative humidity and stuff from here. And as you can see, now we're taking a look at 94S here, which I will make another video update on that once it becomes a tropical cyclone. So with that being said, the GFS is definitely underperforming at this point, as it has, like I said, a pinhole eye and what have you. All right, so here is the 6C European, and this only goes out about 90 hours here. Now we can see that this this is way off. It's 1,000 millibar initialization. What's the particulars here? 11 knots of shear and 80% relative humidity, which is good for intensification purposes. But as you can see, it doesn't really intensify. It only intensifies about 2 millibars, which I know the European is known for being lowballing on these smaller tropical cyclones, and this is big time lowballing right here. As you can see, 5 knots of shear, but the relative humidity is pretty shitty. All right, now we're gonna go 48 hours, 997. So really, it's only gone down like 3 millibars. The shear is great. I'll give it that. The shear is great, but the relative humidity is only 52%, so that's not going to do it any favors whatsoever. Now we're at 72 hours, 9 knots of shear. See that if the relative humidity was there, this thing could really just intensify pretty nicely. I mean, obviously, it's still going to intensify pretty nicely, but like later on in its life cycle, if this stuff was still good, it would become a monster, like a real monster here. And now we're gonna go to 90 hours here, 1,002 millibars. So the European is definitely not impressed with this system, but we all know that the European is dead wrong on this system. All right, so now we're gonna take a look at the H-Wharf. This was the 6C run, since the 12Z run isn't out yet. And we got a decent initialization here for the millibars at least. So here is 24 hours out. And as you can see, we're at 966 millibars. So the H-Wharf definitely loves this system more than the other two systems, the models do. As you can see, 13 knots of shear, 86% relative humidity. So it definitely has the tools to strengthen. And as you can see here, it looks like 958 is the peak intensity here from the H-Wharf on this 6C run. So we're going to have to see if it keeps it that way on the 12Z run. 21 knots of shear, 67% relative humidity. Yeah, that'll do it. Start the weekend. As you can see, it tries to make a little bit more of a comeback later on in the cycle. We're going to take a look at the soundings here for this particular hour frame. 17 knots of shear and 57% relative humidity. The shear is so-so, but the relative humidity is trash. And as you can see, it pretty much weakens from there to 998 millibars. All right, so with that being said, it looks like we have a pretty rapidly intensifying cyclone Charlotte out there. Thankfully, it looks like the models have this being out to sea and not a threat to Australia, which we can thank the gods for. But the fishies will definitely be spinning around in the system. The fishies will be the main targets here. So, with that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching. I will probably have another update on Cyclone Charlotte in the evening time frame. So, until then, thank you guys for watching and have a nice day.